What's up, everybody? It is time for the Thursday night live stream where we're going to talk about focusing our collections. But I'm going to start it off right away with a little bit of going on with, I suppose, the replay crew. We're just going to ask the question right now. How do you focus your collection? Make sure and let me know in the comments. Is it maybe you concentrate on specific characters? Is it you concentrate on specific figures? And if it's just figures in general, what are the criteria? Do you concentrate on lines? All that good stuff. These are the things we'll be discussing tonight and what I want to know from all of you. So before we really get cracking, I wanted to share one line that I'm focusing on with certain rules within that line for characters, and that is, here we go. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's make that a little bigger. It is the G.I. Joe classified line. Now, here's the rules that I'm going to have when it comes to classified. Pretty simple. They're going to stay with the standard articulation they've got because right now they're moving more into Mafex articulation minus the toe joints. I'm a big fan of what they're doing there. So the real rule here is they need to come with extra hands. If they don't come with extra hands, I'm not getting them. And that means I might not get the vamp because then I'd have to sell a clutch, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. So there we go. That is my first line that I'm focusing on, and that's the focus of the figures within that line. So that's what I've got going on there. Now, let's jump into the second line that I've got going on, because there's all kinds of things I need to think about with this stuff. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to present. We're going to stop that screen because I've still got to learn things. Go me. So now we're going to go into here. I'm going to hit share screen. You're hearing way more than you actually need to when it comes to all this, aren't you? All right. We've got that. Now we'll be presenting this window, and you saw Chuckles there with the G.I. Joe rule so far. The next line I'm going to be looking at is the Turtles of Grayskull line, and I have to be honest here, I think I'm going to go all in, but I've been looking a lot more at kind of the cartoon Masters of the Universe figures, and I'm not a big Origins guy. I'm not a big Motu guy, but I've been looking a lot more at those. But I have to tell myself, no, stop. We're going to stop there, because even the animation I've seen and the stop motion video that was done for these, and these figures themselves have a lot of detail going on with them. So I really kind of think if I get any Origins figures, it's going to have to be the older ones. Not that I want to get any, and I already have Skeletor from that ad that they did, or from the stop motion, and I already have the He-Man from that stop motion. So I'm good. If those are the only two they show in their advertising materials, I'm good to go. So yeah, there we go, man. That is the second line that I'll be concentrating on. The only line I can think of in all these that I actually think I'm all in on. Now, what do we have? Robert online, finally able to see a live stream. Very cool. Thank you for coming in, Robert. I appreciate it, man. Mr. Madsen, evening, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'm kind of in the middle of talking about what lines I'm going to be focusing on for next year, as well as the rules that I have inside those lines, like within those lines. Right now, the Turtles of Grayskull, that's probably the only line that I'll be all in on, which means my wallet's going to need a defib. So now let's go back into all this craziness, and we'll go to that third line that I'm looking at checking out. Now, remove. See, these are the things I'm sitting here saying, hey guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, stop screen. I'm telling you, it's insane, all these backwards workings. This is where I kind of need a co-host to sit here and say, all right, Dave, I'll take over when you're button pushing. Now, the fourth line that I'm going nuts for is going to be Jada's Street Fighter 2 line. I'm a big fan. I need these. I want them all, but there was an exclusive that was just shown off today of a gray Ryu from Hallmark store, I believe. And I think he looks cool, don't get me wrong. But suddenly, when they just keep throwing exclusives at us, it's adding $25 more here, $25 more there. And I feel like I can budget for things like Mafex figures, but I feel figures that are in that $20, $25 price point are too easy to just load up on because they're only 20 to 25 bucks. So while I want to be all in on Street Fighter 2, I'm not sure it's going to happen. We'll see how all that plays out. Robert, what do you have to say? Love photo editing, but looks way too complicated and confusing to do. Cutting editing. Let's see. Feathering. Confusing. Okay, Robert, don't worry. You ask any of these questions in the comments or just feel free to DM me wherever, and I'll see what I can do as far as answering goes. I will tell you with this particular picture that is just cotton that's in the foreground. I didn't do any kind of photoshopping with any kind of effects or anything like that. I just had cotton way in the front, way in front of Ryu, so it could get more of that look that's going on right now. As far as the colors, there were just some adjustment layers that I played with. It wasn't too crazy, but I get it. I get it if you've never played with Photoshop, how tough it can be, because I've been playing with Photoshop now since 98, 99, somewhere around there. Basically, somewhere around the turn of the millennium, I've been playing with Photoshop. So I'm just kind of used to doing things. Also, I'm not a great teacher. So, like, I'll probably skip steps. That's why I'm trying to show things in the tutorial videos as I go, is because I know that I'm going to miss saying something or writing out instructions. So I'm like, okay, pay attention here. I'm hitting this, I'm hitting that. So I try and keep myself going with all that stuff. Now, Wreck Ship, live stream time. Thank you very much for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the sharing that you do with all the stuff as well. All right, Robert, let's see. Love the Mafex Batman, Hush Batman photos. Trying to get them now while they're re-released again. Hate scalpers charging 800 bucks. What? I haven't seen them for that much. Which figures are going for $800? Because that's insane. I think at one point it was the blue Hush Batman. I think the priciest I saw him for was around 400, but most places you could have gotten them for less than that. I don't think the black Hush Batman ever got that expensive, but I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you've actually seen them for 800 bucks. I need to know things. That's craziness. Wreck Ship, what have you? Love using your free backgrounds. Man, I love seeing you use those free backgrounds. It's why I make them. So it's massively, massively appreciated. Half the thing I do here, half the fun I have, is just getting to see what everybody gets to make when they're playing with this stuff. Here you go. Look at Mr. Livestream here. Yep, I'm apparently a live streaming fool now. It's a new world, but there are many buttons to push and many things I can still screw up. But it's fun. Ish. Mr. Matson, what have we here? I started on Photoshop in '96. Never got good at it though. Man, if you've got it still though, it's fun to just play. Like one of the things that I had to learn when I first started using Photoshop, like when I first got my own copy of it, I would try and reset all the settings, like in the adjustment layer stuff or whatever. I'd always try and reset them to 0 so they didn't stay where I had them. And my mom actually was constantly like, no, you need to play. And so every time I start using Photoshop, I'm just thinking, okay, I got to play. And it's become just something I do now. Just love playing with it. So yeah, if you're ever checking out the tutorial vids, hopefully they can help, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of some crazy thing. Adjustment layers. I didn't use adjustment layers till way later. So if you take a picture and put it in Photoshop, starting with adjustment layers above that picture, game changer. Because what I used to do was I would make an adjustment on a photo and then I would just put that in a new layer. So suddenly every layer was a massive picture file, not nearly as good as using adjustment layers. Robert Online. All right, the Jada stuff looks great. I'm wondering if they're better than SH Figuarts or Mafex. Just got SH Figuarts, Indiana Jones. Love that figure. Starting really be into SH Figuarts. You know what? I have seen that Indiana Jones. I want it badly. But of course, that would be going outside of my collecting realm, of my collecting rules. But we all have to make exceptions, right? That thing looks glorious. Now, the Jada Strider figures, the only thing I would say, because I had those, and obviously I'm a big Mafex fan, so I would say that Jada itself, the only thing is they have kind of, I don't know how to explain it because it's going to sound bad no matter what I say, and it's not. But if you have a Mafex figure, you know how smooth the joints are, right? Jada figures are just a little tougher, like a little more, I don't know if clicky's the right word. They're just tougher to move. I've shot Ryu with my Mafex Spider-Man, and they look great together. The look of the two lines really melds in nicely. All right, let's see here. What have you here? Exaggerated on the Mafex. Well, okay. I guess I need to be more careful about what I see. All right. I thought Mando Luke was a fluke on SH Figuarts, but I love the indie. Actually makes me want the Hasbro side characters. You know what? When it comes to the Black Series, the side characters, I think, are where they shine because you don't need them to be just crazy awesome. You need the main characters to be crazy awesome, and that's where SHF seems to handle it. And then if you want to add side characters, man, the bounty hunters, the aliens and the droids, I think, are where the Black Series really excels. And trying to think right now anything specific. The new R2 looks good, but I do prefer the SHF one. Of course, I should for how much more that thing is. What else have I seen recently? I really like their clones. I like their troop builders, but they need to come with extra hands or they're just non-starters for me. Whew. All right, let's see here. Wonder which is better, SH Figuarts, Mafex, or Jada Street Fighter. All right. I don't have, does Mafex have, I don't think Mafex has Street Fighter. SHF does though, and they look really good. But I feel like Jada is making the ones that are, and I don't like collecting this way, but if you get into too many lines of like $80 to $100 figures, you're going to be host. I feel like Jada's stuff is good enough for me. Maybe your mileage may vary, but I can't tell you which one's better objectively simply because I don't have the SHF ones. I will say for photos, the SHF ones are probably better because my gut is they're going to come with a lot more hands and heads and all that stuff. So you get a lot more photo options. Let's see. Only have the Storm Collectibles Ryu. What do you think of him? I've never messed with anything Storm Collectibles. And, ooh, how about that Mafex Terminator? Sweet figure. He looks good. I'll tell you, if I could just spend all the money, I would buy every Mafex figure, period. That would be the one line I would shill for. I love them all, and I don't know hardly anything about things like Terminator. Wreck Ship, what do you have for me, sir? On topic of the live stream, I had to make a decision in late 2022 to focus on a single action figure line because money is limited. Facts, man. Like money and space. Money and space are always the things. And I generally, like, I'll bring them up some, but those are the things that all us collectors have to fight. Money and space are absolutely insane. So that's kind of where all my rules come in is, okay, what don't I need? What could I use? You know, it's all craziness. It's tough. Your line, of course, G.I. Joe Classified, I love the photos you've been putting up there. All right, let's see. And as you know, hey, I called my shot. Go me. Robert, what do you have here? Wondering as far as your photos, which really pop out of all your figures? Man, it has to do with, I think for me lately, it has to do with color. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to the Turtles of Skull line, is it has to do with colors that are just really bright and vibrant. And it was something I never thought I'd be this guy at all. I always liked the ultra realistic look of G.I. Joe. I thought they jumped the shark in '86 with Serpentor. But then, it turns out that Serpentor was actually a lot more realistic considering today than Sergeant Slaughter beating up a bunch of robots. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking it's the things that are really colorful. Like right now, the most fun I have shooting is probably Mafex, simply because it has all kinds of great colorful characters and they move all kinds of ways and they have all the accessories. To me, it's the perfect action figure line. So those are the most fun. Likely it's because of the colors. Like I did a shot you'll see later on here with Spider-Man and Batman, and I was able to get really colorful, and I was pretty stoked about that. Wreck ship, what have we here, sir? I wish I could have gotten more into Mafex, but before classifying it was Mezco. And they're both expensive lines, do you know? Yeah, yeah. Or as you know, my bad. Yeah, Mezco, there are things that I've been tempted with Mezco. Very tempted. Their business practices kind of drive me a little crazy, but that doesn't mean that when they finally get released, if one's sitting around for a while, I'm not looking at it thinking, man, I kind of want that Bishop, for instance. I think their Bishop is incredible. And his price is down on Amazon, but it's not, it's outside of things. And it's been a tough end of year as I've been trying to get more clients and all that stuff. So I'm trying to really focus on my normal stuff. But once things start going a little crazier, then I'll be able to focus on bringing in other lines, such as I'm talking here. I would love to just load up on all things Jada. I've seen June's interviews, and he just looks super stoked about what he's doing, and he's making incredible figures for $25. And the Mega Man figures for $20. I want to expand into Mega Man and then other stuff. But again, that'll depend on what I can do in 2024. Oh, Skew Raider, glad to see you, man. I've limited what I'm picking up due to the, let's see, inundation of product dropping. Jada Street Fighter, Mafex, Fooey Planet, Memory Toys, G.I. Joe Classified, and a few others, but those are the main ones. Yep. I'm kind of along the same lines because not necessarily all the same action figure lines you brought up, but like I'm going more with lines and then I'm choosing which figures, like I've got individual rules for those individual lines of which figures I'm going to go for. So yeah, it's insane. It's a great problem to have because there's so much good stuff dropping. But whenever that happens, it's kind of like I feel like I need to focus more, not less. Because otherwise, I'm one of those that if I buy something from this line, suddenly I want the whole line. And I know I have to curtail that. So I try not to start too many other lines. That's why I feel like Indiana Jones from SHF would be perfect. It's not like SHF is making an indie line. Okay. Woo. You guys are coming in with the comments. I like it. Thank you. See, Robert online. Someone said the Ken head sculpt would be a great He-Man. Thoughts? Ooh, it would be a great He-Man. If you're talking Filmation, I think it would be. I don't know, like the sizing is a little different. I wonder if you could use it on the Masterverse He-Man. I haven't gotten any of the Masterverse figures, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they're right. Whoever said that, because I'm picking it now. Let me see here. Let's drop this screen. We will stop screen. I'm going to get on the Google Jada Toys Ken. Sorry, I'm typing. You guys are at least hearing me, right? Okay. This takes us to Entertainment Earth site. And that's not a shameless plug there, since I put up a lot of Entertainment Earth. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back here. We're going to share the screen. Oh, I'm going to push buttons. Where's my co-host? I don't actually have a co-host, but that was fun. Let's see. Chrome tab. That's what I want. Here we go. Obi Nobi. Well, all right, here we go. Now at least I know what I'm doing. Oh, open, Ken. I want to see. I want to look at this right now. Let's figure this all out together. Oh, it's still loading. Well, that's dumb. All right, everybody, what do we think? I think that's a good He-Man head. I think that could work. It's kind of an angrier He-Man head and maybe a little more anime than most He-Mans, but I think it could work. I don't know. All right, see here. Let's see you do a photo shoot of Mando, Luke, and Dark Troopers. Man, I really thought about getting those Dark Troopers, especially the price they are now. I think Entertainment Earth, when I looked just today, I think they were at 12 something a pop. Like they cost nothing at this point. And it would be fun. At first, they were first announced before everything hit, before I got sick over the summer. Then I had pre-ordered like 4 of them and ended up dropping the pre-orders because I just thought, nah, I don't need much Black Series, but they look good and it would be fun. And I do have the Mando Luke, the SHF one. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Problem is, if I get that stuff, it starts taking up space, and I already have like 50 figures I could sell, but I don't know if Mom's still watching this. I know she was going to start it, but a lot of those are figures she wouldn't want me to sell, even though I never use them. So I'm stuck. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I need to make the money. I need to make the room. But it's more about the room at this point when it comes to the collection. I just don't have room to get all the cool things. Let's see. Oh man, so many comments. Thank you guys. Let's see. Skew Raider, NECA, TMNT 1990, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and Savage Crucible, particular ones only for all of the lines mentioned. Classified and Action Force are main lines. Got it. Got it. Yeah, Classified and Action Force. I love what Action Force is doing, but I'm finding myself drawn more towards Classified with the craziness that they've got going on. Like the hiss. I think one of the reasons I got the hiss rather than, say, the Dragonfly, because the Dragonfly was up and I could have done it at the time, but I just thought the hiss looked cooler. It just looks more fun. The Dragonfly almost looked too realistic, so that's got me kind of skewing away from Action Force a little bit. Not because I hate them. I think they're great figures, but one thing I might do is start troop building with Action Force, because I just don't want to get figures that don't have a lot of extra hands, and Action Force figures have plenty of hands. Let's see here. Woo. Robert Online. Any plan for NECA Universal Monsters? Let's see. Black and white would seem like easy for photos. They would seem like easy for photos. They'd be, yeah, that'd be just about lighting, really. Trying to think here. No, I'm probably not going to get those. If I get Universal Monsters, it'll probably be the Jada ones, just because most of my collection is 1/12 scale. Although, yeah, I don't know. I really like the look of the NECA ones, but I will be trying to get a hold of the NECA Universal Monsters Turtles. It's just something I didn't prioritize, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of regretting it. And I told the family, though, because I'd like to make Christmas easy for them. I told them about the Universal Monster Turtles, so we'll see. Maybe I'll be getting some of those on December 25th. Mr. Madsen, what do you have for me? Bishop had a lot of QC issues. What were some of them? I know somebody said something about the knee pads were upside down. What else was going on with old Bishop? All right. Hitting the like. Robert Online, thank you very much for liking this here live stream, man. I appreciate it. If anybody else feels like doing that, I appreciate that as well. Now, Harry, let's see what you've got going on. You ever talk about your Black Friday pickups? You know what? I didn't get anything on Black Friday. So here's what went down. Thanksgiving, I basically spent with mom, but the rest of the family was at a competition or getting ready for a competition that my niece was in over Thanksgiving weekend. Starting on Friday, we we drove down to where the competition was happening, which was about 3.5 hours away. And all weekend was hurry up and wait. I probably had an hour that I could have messed with this stuff, and I just didn't do it because that hour was spent sitting because it was a whole lot of hurry up and wait. I think there were a lot of great sales. I know there were a lot of great sales. I would have picked up a ton, but I'm still saving what I've got right now for the Common Toys Musk. I need the Musk. That thing's going to be glorious and wonderful for photos. All right, before we get much further here, I want to talk a little bit more. We're going to stop that screen and we're going to go back into talking about this screen. And now you heard what's going on there. Now, obviously, you guys have probably seen shots of me where I've taken pics of the NECA Mirage Studios, I guess technically Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have an inexplicable love of these figures, and I can't even figure out what it is. They're just so much fun to use. So the NECA Eastman and Laird's TMNT line, even though some have waist cuts, which is just gross to me in this day and age, I'm going to be getting the ones that are the Mirage Studios colors. I'm not getting the IDW stuff. So I'm not getting blue foot soldiers and all those things. And I'm not getting gray shirt Casey Jones, even though I hear that he was like that on one cover. I'm getting the red shirt. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing the NECA Turtles without like buying everything. Those are kind of the rules there. Now, with them, depending on how 2024 goes with all the work and everything that I've been working on, I might end up branching out a little more into the Archie and the Last Ronin comic figures because I think a lot of those look really good, but we'll see. That's the fourth line that I'm looking at for me when it comes to focusing. Now, let's head on back, pick up where we left off. Robert, do you have Sergeant Slaughter? I was tempted, but more, let's see, but more a Batman sci-fi fan. You know what? I do have Sergeant Slaughter, and I think he's glorious. He's one of my absolute favorite G.I. Joe classified figures, simply because he has a bunch of hands, but he's also got the hat and the glasses, so it's also like they're both removable, so it's like getting multiple head options. And there's also his little Sergeant Slaughter figure that he comes with that I think is awesome. I'm such a fan of that. So yeah, I've got the Sarge. I dig the Sarge. I just need to find more excuses to take pics of the Sarge. Now, Robert, Godzilla would be great for pics, man. There is so much that would be great for pics. I saw that Super 7 just put up a pre-order for a Godzilla that looks incredible. And I would love to do it. I would. But the money and the space, it's the same problem we all have. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, but sometimes I think maybe I should get the best representations of a lot of pop culture type stuff. And obviously Godzilla is huge on the pop culture, and enough companies like the 30 Minutes Missions is kind of a model kit set. They look awesome. You build little robots, but you can also build little cities or like buy little cities that come with them or little buildings that are, I think the scale is 1/44th. So you can buy a huge Godzilla and have the city for him to crush, man. Don't do that to me. I'm kind of talking myself into a Godzilla now, and I don't want my wallet to kill me. I like life. I choose life, man. Skew Raider. Definitely not picking up everything in every line I mentioned either. This is a must, man. Focus it's the most important thing for me as far as collecting right now. I actually am a bit of a minimalist, so I don't want to crowd the place anyway. But Yeah, there's so much good stuff that I found that I am contracting more than expanding because I just don't want to be tempted by all the things. And there are all the things. Whew. Oh my goodness, guys. I might not be able to hit every chat here. Yeah, that could work. Ken Head, awesome. All right. SKU Raider Origins maybe first, then try Masterverse 2. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is if yeah, you know what? That first He-Man that came out in Masterverse was kind of he sort of reminded me of an anime figure anyway. I think that first Masterverse He-Man might be the best, depending on if the flesh tone matches. Gunstar, nice to see you, man. Thanks for showing up. Speaking of He-Man, the Masterverse New Eternia line has been let's see, has been quietly a solid line of figures, especially Buzz Off and Trapjaw. New Eternia has been tempting. They're still outside of the scale I generally pick up, but I have to say they look really good. I like the look of, I think, was Whiplash New Eternia? I think he was. I thought he looked incredible. But what's killing me with that is one, this part isn't really killing me. For whatever reason, I'm not like Motu didn't have a huge nostalgic pull for me. So there's that. But the thing that really kills it, even though I think a lot of the figures look great, is there's no ball peg waist. If Mattel gets in it and starts making those figures with ball peg waists, it's going to be really tough for me to say no. But yeah, they look incredible. SKU Raider, loving the whole line, getting the vehicles too. Are you talking about Action Force, I would assume? Because, yeah, that Vanguard looks incredible. There's too much. There's too much, man. All right. And then classified. Oh, Action Force 2 is a okay. Well, I guess you're talking classified. And that's true. I love the look of that vamp. I always like the story about how that came out and how it was. I don't know if you guys had heard this. It was actually a prototype that Lamborghini made to try and sell to the US. I believe it was the Army. And it was what they didn't go with. I think it was at the same time they were trying to decide whether or not they were going to get something like that or the Hummer, and they chose the Hummer. So the Vamp actually has some kind of historical relevance, and it's a Lambo. So now I'm sitting here talking myself into the Vamp, even though I'd have to get rid of Clutch. I hate this whole live streaming thing. Might be bad for my wallet. I don't know. It's bad juju. Wreck shit. What have you, sir? I like Action Force weapons packs, but the figures themselves never wowed me, to be honest. Plus, the joints feel tight enough that not heating it up before usage is going to result in snapping. You know, it's one thing about Action Force that, like, I got the female figures from the first round. So I got Eclipse, Kill Switch, and a Spec Ops Trooper. And to this day, I still have to heat up their hands to swap them out. And I might end up selling those, actually. Not because they're bad figures, but they're just not much fun because all the times I have to use the hair dryer. And then, what have we again? SKU Raider. You go to any shows, Photo Dave. Let's see. When, if NECA are there, they normally have some decent prices. At least other collectors have told me them and Mythic Cosmic Legions at toy shows. You know what? I want to start going. Here's my idea. Let me know what you guys think. I want to start going to some shows and just set up a booth where people can bring in cell phones and I'll have some diodes set up. People bring in their cell phones because obviously they've got their cell phones anyway, and figures they would love to take pictures of. And so I just have a booth set up. It's just kind of like Patreon. It's just donations. So if you come in and you want to leave a few bucks, cool. I'll show you how to take the picture. And if you don't want to leave a few bucks, also cool. I'll still show you how to take the picture. So let me know if that's something you guys think would be cool. I've been thinking about going to shows, and it would be nice to see NECA and Mythic Legions. Mythic Legions is one that I can't start. Mythic and Cosmic Legions, I would go insane trying to collect those lines because they look so good. I think you should pick up Indy and Terminator before those nasty scalpers charge nasty prices. I'm picking up a few, was thinking. Maybe getting some RoboCops. Love that blue version. I saw they just reissued those RoboCops, right? I think those look really good. One thing that's freaking me out right now that I think is kind of cool from a creepy perspective is recent Alex Murphy that NECA is putting out, because you can see just the arm ripped off and all that stuff. I ugh, disgusting, and I kind of want it, but that's outside of the realm of my focus. So that's a bad Dave. SKU get those sales online too, whatever you want. Yeah, man, I hope those sales continue. I'm starting to wonder if, because so many of those sales are going on for so many lines, I'm starting to wonder if those were just produced in quantities big enough for the COVID collectors. And now that it seems, at least I'm hearing this on YouTube, I haven't seen solid numbers, but if people really are backing out of collecting, that's why we're getting all those sales right now, and the companies will adjust in the future and decide, okay, the demand isn't there that it used to be, and they're going to start cutting back on production, and then things are going to get tougher to find. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. The Musk and those vehicles from Ramen, let's see, are Ace fire, to put it directly. Yeah, man, Ace is crushing it for all of us. The Musk is beautiful. The Ramen Racer is beautiful. The A-Team van they're doing is beautiful. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be a collector these days, I'm telling you. Robert Online. Yeah, I think as far as cheaper figures, the Dark Troopers and the Hasbro Indie figures look like a good bet. The only problem, I have the Hasbro Indie from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it drives me crazy. It's like, for whatever reason, Harrison Ford is one of those people that you have to nail the face sculpt. Otherwise, it looks like somebody cosplaying as Indy. So there's that with the Hasbro one that I have. And there's also the fact that while it was cool to see Indy with the whip and he used his gun, what he did most of the time was punch, and he can't wind up. Like the Hasbro Indy can't wind up to get a punch in. So that drives me crazy. And so because of that, I just got Indy, and I'm going to end up selling him. The SH Figuarts Indie I'm going to need. Let's see, SKU Radar. Woo. Let's see. All right, I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to take every chance I can to skip some of these because you guys are bringing them in hot. Appreciate it. Wreck Ship. What is your take on using your smartphone camera versus using a Canon, Nikon, Polaroid, etc.? Do you prefer one over the other? You know what? I prefer using a camera, like Canon. I have a Canon. It's an old Canon, but I do prefer it just because I feel like I have a little more control. But I will say I've taken some shots with the smartphone that if I light things up well enough, they are great. Like, you guys, cameras today, most people can do what they need to do with a smartphone, even when it comes to trying to take really cool shots. One of the big hacks that I found in my iPhone, I have a 13 Pro, I believe. And one of the big hacks for me, portrait mode. You use that portrait mode, you figure out the distance. There's a 1x and a 3x to get it as clear as you can. You can get right up on something, or I think it's not that you can get right up on something, it's that you can change the exposure after you take the photo. I love that about that thing. So if you want to blur the background a little bit, you can. A lot, you can. Although you oftentimes see a lot of photos where people have just blown out the blur in a big way. Robert. Love turtles, but way too damn annoying to track, find, and buy. Again, those damn scalpers. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I haven't had a tough time aside from these turtles and the blue Renette. Like right now, I could get anything else that I wanted if I just ponied up the money. They're all readily available, at least online. But I know what you mean when it comes to searching in store. It's a pain in the butt. And I know NECA has traditionally been really tough to find. They seem to be doing better with that. But again, that might be because there were so many people collecting and they might start cutting back too. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm hoping they're still easy to find in the future, but no one can be sure. Liquid Below Zero, yo, what's up, sir? Thank you very much for stopping by. Always appreciate it, folks. If you're not following Liquid Below Zero on the Twitter, then go do it. He posts all kinds of photos that are just they're from the desk shots. They're a blast to check out. He does some really cool work, as well as Rec Ship. Check these things, man. Robert Online. I'm digging those Mezco 5 POA turtles. Dude, I am too, and it's so weird because that is not my thing at all. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Like, it feels wrong for me to look at those and say, I kind of want those. But they've got the red headbands, and Mirage is where my love is, though I'm not going to lie. If they re-release these turtles with orange and blue and purple, and then we can just keep Raph there, then I will be totally stoked, and I'll buy them again because I'm sick like that. Skew Raider, what do you have? Oh, you guys are still talking. I love it. Keep talking. That way I don't have to click everything. I have the bootleg turtles. LOL. I used to too. And I think they were great. My problem was I'm sick in the head like this. I broke Leonardo's sword, and because of that, I had to sell the whole set. It just drove me crazy. But I might end up going back and finding those again. Skew Raider. Let's see. Toy shows and Comic-Cons, etc. Yeah, I would do that. I would go to both. I think it'd be fun. Let's see. All right. Now, guys, before we get too off topic here, let me know, how is it, what do you do to focus your collections? Like, what are some of the rules you have? Because I want to know those things. It might help me out. Like, I have separate rules inside these lines, but if I were to expand a little tiny bit, how could I also rein it in at the same time so that I'm not just insane? Because I don't have, like, my stuff hangs out in really cases like shelves, not like display shelves, but things that I have in the closet, like those old, what is it? I can't even remember the brand, but basically you just pull out the clear drawers and you put them in there, because I don't have proper display shelves up yet. One of those things I work on in 2024. But yeah, keep me thinking about the focus, and let me know how you guys focus your collections. Now, Robert, yeah, I was thinking Dark Troopers, the Mafex stuff is a must-have for me. Not missing out this time on Mafex Hush Batman. Dude, Catwoman went up too before she got reissued. If you can't get that Catwoman, she is by far the best female figure I have in my collection. Mafex or any other line. She's just, the finish on her was perfect. The way you can pose her is perfect. She's one of those that, and I say this a lot with Mafex, but her especially, I feel like I'll never need another 1/12 scale Catwoman, at least in that uniform. So if you can, see about picking her up. She is glorious. Skew Raider, Robert, let's see here. Harry, have you ever hit any toy shows or conventions? You know what? Way back when I was trying to be a comic book artist. My degree is actually in painting and drawing, and had I pursued it, I probably would have done okay. But I found out that they all lived in New York on $100 a day salary or $100 a page salary. I thought, well, you can't afford to live in New York there unless you have like 8 roommates. So I decided I didn't love it enough to really pursue it. That said, that was a little story there to lead into actually answering the question. Is I've been to 2. I went to, when it was WizardCon in Chicago, I went to those. And was it WizardCon? It was a wizard show of some kind. And I met with Joe Quesada. There was a whole lot of good times, just because I was trying to make my work get out there and be seen. And I think I've been to other smaller shows, but I'd like to do a lot more than that for the photo stuff. Roberts, let's see. I'm a little mad. Why does Nightwing have a bigger butt than Catwoman? Mafex went all out. Apparently there's a thing. Apparently Nightwing having a butt like that, that's a thing. People know. I don't know. I didn't know, but I'm hearing it on the internet. Yeah, maybe we need Anthony's Customs to do some Mafex cake ratings. I don't know. He does that with the DC Multiverse, and it always cracks me up. Let's see. All right. Mr. Matson, what have you here? Action Force Series 2 were like butter. The female wave was a step back due to a different factory. I believe they have fixed most of those issues. I heard the same thing. So what I might do is I might sell the ones I have now and then maybe buy them back in the future because I really like them. I think my favorite one is Eclipse. She just has a really cool look, and I love the masked face sculpt that they made. It just, there's something like, there's so much character just in those eyes, and the colors work for me. Probably because she doesn't look as militaristic, but who really knows? And then Mr. Matson, I got Mythic Legions for the horses. And skeletons and goblins. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. You pick one, you decide, okay, I'm just getting the horses. And then you jump into these, and then you jump into those. And before you know it, half your room is Mythic Legions. And while they're glorious, you don't know where all your money went. And then you look at half that room and you realize, no, it was the Mythic Legions. Skew Raider, what have you here, sir? Shh, that's you, Photo Dave. Great unique table. Let the peeps know on your channel. That will be awesome. Toy photography table. Really dig it. Awesome, man. I appreciate the feedback. That would be fun. That would be fun to do. So we'll see. I'm not in a crazy populated area. I'm in Michigan. So the first kind of sort of large-ish con I could think of would be the Motor City Comic Con, but I haven't even looked into when that is or anything. So we'll see. We'll see. It would be nice to do that kind of stuff. That'll be when Toypixx gets a little huger. Robert Online, love to get the NECA movie turtles. I actually love to get those tech turtles based on the Nickelodeon show, but damn, those prices. I haven't seen those prices, but I've been looking at Reveltech a lot lately. I know those turtles, they're a little older, aren't they? How many years ago were they out? But yeah, Reveltech is another one of those lines that once Toypixx starts doing well, I'll have to start making rules for myself to not go nuts into that because those are really cool and I love the way they pose. Skew Raider, there's so much dropping at once, is my suspicion. Let's see, got it. The Kickstarters, HasLabs, whatever. 2023 was Mega Drop City. LOL. I've gotten a lot the last year, but like everybody had to back off on a lot of it. Yeah, man. 2023 seemed like they just went balls to the wall when it comes to all the toy companies. They were just like, oh, you want this? Have more of that. Have more of that. Have more of that. So, yeah, I mean, truly what they're doing, at least in my case, is making it so no, I need less. I need to really contract what I'm getting. So I don't know. I feel kind of bad because with these rules, our indie company is going to be hurting in favor of all these nostalgia grabs that we all have because I like a lot of what's going on with those. So we'll see. Right. Online, SH Figure Arts Indie is a must and would add so much to the Hasbro side figures. Yeah, that's probably true too. I didn't think of that. I'd like a great, well-articulated Sala. I always thought Sala was cool. And then get the Sean Connery, get Dr. Henry Jones Sr., get him in there. Because I don't know, there's just so much good in those movies. Maybe SHF would make some Mularam. Maybe the reason Hasbro couldn't do it was because of American sensitivities, and maybe Japan doesn't have to worry about that. So SHF might be able to do it. Maybe it's a Hasbro thing and not a Disney thing, though I suspect it's a Disney thing. Let's see. Oh, speaking of Mularam. Yep, same. That's what I was just thinking. All right. Skew Raider. Mr. Matson, I've never seen the Blue Renette, neither have I. And they promised at the beginning of the Mirage run that these figures would all be readily available. So what I'm guessing is we know that a lot of it starts out as Target exclusive, and then we can get it most anywhere. The Blue Renette and some of the, I think there were a couple black and white ones, black and white figures there too. They were Walmart exclusives when they were doing like, I don't know, the NFT thing or whatever. And they just haven't been released wide yet. At least that's my hope. My hope is that they'll do exactly what they did with the Target exclusives and make the Walmart exclusives readily available for everybody. Because I ain't getting a red net, and I'm not paying like, what is it right now, 70 or 80 bucks for a blue red net. So hopefully she becomes a little more available. Liquid below zero. Let's see. Blur bikes mine. Let's see. I blur / bikes mine since I do my picks on my desk and I have a lot of picks. Yeah, but they're great. They're great. They're fun picks to check out. I love the lighting that you do. Like when I take a shot just sitting at my desk, it's like a shot just sitting at my desk. And while yours, you can tell that there's so much going on, it almost looks like your figures have an audience watching them crazy things. It's very cool stuff. Skew Raider. Whew. It's a lot going on, guys. Thank you. Facts on NECA and Jada in the stores. This is major facts. Target coincidence. Let's see. Yes, hard to find. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they. Bokeh. Okay, I was wondering what you meant with the blur and bikes. But yeah, bokeh effects are really sweet. I found just a picture that I use bokeh effects when I use them. Didn't even have to create them myself. It was crazy. I liked it. See, I mean, I have a lot of figures on my. That's what I'm saying. You have an audience that's watching your stuff. It's awesome. I need to. Maybe that's what I need to do. Just start packing up my desk with an audience. Let's see, Harry-O. I have no rules or impulse control, dude. No, that's what we have to fix. All right, maybe not. Maybe you're good to go. Yeah, for me, I have to have the rules because, like you're saying, with the impulse control, like I said, if I branch into another line, suddenly, ooh, I want this. I want this. Like, no lie, for the last couple days, I've been looking at the cartoon He-Man figures, which led me down the rabbit hole of looking at the older Origins figures. And then I'm like, I always love the Evil Horde. What if I just get the Evil Horde? But I know that if I started doing that, I would end up with a whole line and it would be bad juju. Robert Online, is it me or are they getting rid of that? Blu-ray, 4K, DVD figures, and anything that can bring joy, even video games. What's up with that? Man, I don't know. You know, I haven't even played video games in forever. I basically stream most of what I watch on TV. If it's not a Disney Plus show, it's on YouTube. So I don't know. I can't comment on that one. I don't know the things. Skew Raider. The figures have to have meant something growing up to me or close friends. That's my biggest Venn diagram rule to cut out the overwhelming. Then from there, will it go with what let's see, headcanon, like Toy Story. That's a good rule. I was trying for a little while there to say, you know what, nostalgia can't rule, the great figures have to rule. But I know that if I'm looking at, say, the Scarlet that's coming out with the extra fists. Oh, I can't wait for that Scarlet. Or I'm looking at Killswitch from Valaverse. Scarlet's going to win because of that nostalgia pull. And by the way, I have Killswitch. I haven't sold her yet. I think she's a great figure, but Scarlet's, she's got the pull on me. It's horrible. It's horrible. Let's see. Skew Raider. Cuts out a lot of the awesomeness to go back to later, here and there, still holding to that rule. Yeah, man, that's a great rule. But it does, like for me, in my head, it's a great rule when like something meant something way back when growing up. But then I'm like, but there's so much cool coming out from the indie companies too. So for me, I'm stuck. Cause I want to get some of that stuff, and yeah, must hold fast on the focus. It's very tough, guys. It's very tough for me. Let's see. I wish they made a Mafex Talia Al Ghul. Robert, my friend, I want them badly to just get a JLA license because I need a Mafex Wonder Woman. That is my number one want of any action figure line out there right now. I just want a Mafex Wonder Woman. I think McFarlane did a great job with their Wonder Woman, but she's out of scale with my stuff. I need Mafex to make one to make me, I believe, happy, right? Because things make us happy, right, guys? Is that the thing? Probably not. Wreck ship. Let's see. I have to skedaddle here, but glad I could hop onto the live stream for a bit. Wreck ship man, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Enjoy the night. Let's see. Skew Rich. Care. Good man. Good man. I have a huge glass cabinet where I put my older fish. Then I have ones in my storage drawers. I'm probably picking up all the Hush, Soups, Bats, Catwoman, and Nightwing at the end of the month. Picking them up. Are you talking buying them? Or are you talking putting them in your glass cabinets? Because, I mean, I need to know these things. But if you're talking buying them, the Hush Superman, the Hush Batman, the Hush Catwoman, the Hush Nightwing, they're all definitive figures. You get those, you don't need to get them again. That's at least the way I feel about it. Whew, you guys are keeping them coming. I appreciate it. Let's see. Robert, Poison Ivy looks okay. Hold on. Poison Ivy looks okay with Harley. Seems like Catwoman is the winner. You know what? I really like Harley too, but Catwoman's the winner of the two. No doubt. And I like Huntress a lot. Like, I feel like I don't need another Harley. I don't need another Huntress, but Catwoman wins. That's it. But Poison Ivy, yeah, she's going to look really cool too. I've got her on pre-order because, hush, I have to go nuts with those. Keep up the good work. Let's see. Keep photography toes, Photo Dave. Wreck Ship, I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully you see that I saw this when you catch it on the replay if you do that. Let's see. Mr. Matson, Eclipse is my favorite, especially her Warpath version. Man, I haven't gotten that one yet, so I need to look into that. You have her, I assume, so her hands are a lot easier to swap out. Just curious, because she would be cool to grab again. Robert Online, I like the cabin background, but it doesn't match, let's see, for Evil Dead Ash. That cabin background looks more good for Ewoks. Way too old. Imagine Wicket and the Ewoks hanging out in those cabins. That place would be a mess in no time. They'd basically just turn it into firewood or things that they could use to take down ATSTs with. Oh no, those Ewoks, they are crafty critters. Although, that's an idea. I'll see about an Ash background. That would be kind of fun. Skew Raider. Articulation is becoming another limiting factor. Rare exceptions. If the line is the only one available, and I really love it. Let's see, looking at you, Thoughts. As in, if the line is the only one available for, like, the property you're talking about, right? So you're kind of thinking Super 7 Thundercats, I assume, right now. Yeah, it's kind of tough for me. I'm really trying to draw the line, but there's some things that Super 7's doing as far as turtles are concerned that I really like, but they just don't have the articulation. So for me to really jump into those, Toypixx will have to do really well in 2024, but it's not to say I don't want them. Like Gorilla looks incredible to me. And let's see. Oh my gosh, Wingnut and Screw Loose. I was remembering Screw Loose. I was blanking on Wingnut. Let's see. I feel the toys company are way too greedy and expensive, which is why nobody's buying most everything being marked down. If they price within reason, I feel they do way better. See, I don't know enough about the actual pricing. I don't talk price that often simply because I don't know all the factors. A while back, I did a video where I talked about just the manufacturing process. During COVID, the price of paint went insane. Like, you've got just the line, that's steady. I mean, costs are always rising, so you have steady. And then COVID hits, and paint just did one of these. But now it's back down to following that initial line. So you wonder if more paint's going to start showing up on figures. Shipping is back down to pre-COVID levels. Chinese manufacturing is still climbing quite a bit. Plastics, I mean, not insane. It's still following the trend line. Plastics, last I looked, I haven't looked at plastics in a while, but manufacturing there is following the trend line, but going up. So really, the only actual cost that we have to go on when it comes to this stuff is what's the company's profit margin and what are the licensing fees. And there's no way we're going to get those numbers unless we're in on those talks. So yeah, I get it because some companies do seem pretty greedy, and that's something they have to look out for. Once you feel like you're getting cheated as the consumer, it's tough for a company to win you back. So when it comes to a line like, and I hate to pick on them, but Marvel Legends is pretty old articulation right now, and you're getting not a lot with them anymore. So I feel like with that line specifically, it is too much. What is it? I mean, again, I don't know the profit margins Hasbro's working with, and I don't know the pricing, like the percent Disney's taking out. I just know subjectively for me, compared to other $25 offerings out there, it's not good enough. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm kind of skimming some. Robert Online. I don't want to remember that HasLab Ghost Rider car. HasLab Rancor. Oh, man. Yeah. Ramen should do Knight Rider. Duke's Airwolf Blue Thunder A Team. Yeah. Airwolf would be crazy. Ooh, Airwolf would be crazy. Kit would be nuts. I do wonder when it comes to ramen and making those things, the A-Team van can be pretty generic and Kit could be pretty generic. But as all of us get a little older, are people going to care enough about that? And who's spending more of the money? Is it us or is it people in there? Like when I look at my YouTube analytics, the 35 to I think it's around 55, that's the age demo that right now is interested in the videos for the most part. It does skew younger in some areas, not really older. So I do wonder who all's collecting this stuff and what kind of things are they into. Because Ramen is really careful about that. And Ace will flat out say, I don't think that there's enough interest, which is something I like about him. Let's see. Focusing on Mafex Hush and Indie Terminator Robocop figures, mainly movie stuff. I love a Mafex Dread comic. Stallone Urban. Mafex Dread, comic Stallone, or Carl Urban, huh? I need to know more about Judge Dredd. I just don't know enough. Mafex Commando. Dude, Commando. So I was the goody two shoes kid when I was really young. I kind of aged out of that. But when I was really young, people were watching Commando at a friend's party. I'm like 6 or 7, and I called my folks. I'm like, I'm watching a movie I don't think I'm supposed to be watching. But I can't say that I didn't think it was cool. It wasn't cool, or I thought it was very cool. Let's see. Skew Raider. I break the rule when the figure is cool enough. See, Liquid Below Zero, buying them. That's how I feel about my SHF Wonder Woman 84. You've said that she's pretty rad. I need to maybe give that figure a look. I just don't have a lot of SHF. Let's see. A Mafex Linda Carter. If Mafex ever got into doing like Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton and Linda Carter, that'd be pretty sweet. I generally don't get movie or TV show type things, but I might bend those rules for those. Skew Raider. Good thing is the prices on Super 7 were so high, that's putting them on sale now. I don't know. Is that putting them on sale? Or is it that they were just overproduced for the COVID people? And now things are going to come back down. Those are the things I'm just not sure about. Let's see. 112th Ash, Robert Online. That'd be sweet. Let's see. Do they have a 112th Mummy? Who's got a mummy? Let's see. Sorry, I should probably highlight that since I'm trying to answer it. Somebody's got to have a mummy. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Skew Raider, you're on it. Appreciate it. Skew Raider's answering the question. Let's see. Super 7 Flint. I want 112 Super 7 Flint, but I saw reviews and I was like, I'll pass. Flint's my boy. He is. But yeah, the limited articulation. He was one without paint. Yeah, who knows? Let's see. 3-inch mesh. That's weird. Let's see. I see a 3-inch mash or love boat and like, oh, cool. All right, that's just taking it too far, Robert. You've gone crazy now. You've gone nuts. I don't know that I can accept that as totally okay. Kidding. Everybody digs what they dig. All right, let's get back. I want to get back into this real quick just to show a little more of how I'm trying to do all this. So we're going to stop the screen. And again, I just push buttons here that you guys can't see. Haha, I feel all secretive and stuff. We're going to go back to this. And now the Transformers MDLX line. I gotta say, so last year, the MDX Optimus Prime was my figure of the year. He is just that good. He's so good. And I keep telling people, MDLX guys, get into MDLX. I got this Megatron. He's a contender for this year's figure of the year. Not that I'm not even sure I should make an actual video about my figures of the year because I just haven't gotten that many this year. But if I load it up, I think Megatron would still be in contention. It's a great figure. My exceptions with the MDLX line are I was going to go all in, but when they kind of ruined Cliff Jumper and just made him Red Bumblebee with a Cliff Jumper head, I decided, no, you guys don't care enough for me to go all in. So I have a Nemesis Prime I'm going to sell. I have one of the gold Bumblebees I'm going to sell. And in the future, I'll get Starscream. I'll get Sideswipe. Roddy's on pre-order. But it's just going to be G1 style and maybe some Japanese figures that I'm going to be picking up with the ThreeZero stuff. But yeah, if you haven't yet and you love Transformers and you're okay with them not transforming, get some MDLX ones. They're incredible. Let's see. Skew Raider, A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, 80s, cool stuff. Burn, but yeah, Ace is open to all of those awesome shows. Don't be surprised if some show up or all. I would not be surprised. I mean, Ace has to be careful about just how big he thinks the fan bases are. But if the fan base is there and if people really vote with their wallets, he'll figure it out. But it's kind of tough. Do some marketing, and it's tough to get a real sense of what people will spend money on. They'll say, oh man, I'll go nuts for this line. I'd buy them all. But then when the line comes out, maybe they just can't do it at the time, or the line isn't what they wanted it to be, or whatever. So it's kind of a really tough balancing act when it comes to Ace or any company trying to figure out what's next. What do they need to make? Let's see. Robert. Be hilarious if Hasbro did mesh to go with G.I. Joe figures. Okay, I can see that. That'd be pretty good. I'd be a fan. Ariel, Mafex, Snake Plissken, Escape from New York. Okay, here's my bias. I just want Mafex to make all the things. I mean, I would buy, truly, if I could, I would buy, if it said X, I would buy it. Done. Because I think they do, I think they really care about their product, and I think it shows in the product. And that should always be rewarded. And there are a lot of lines that do that. It's just I really love Mafex for the photo possibilities. Robert. What do we have now? Let's see. Some kid. Who the hell is Hawkeye? Who's Radar? What the heck is a Klinger? Who's wearing a... Oh, yeah. Who's wearing a dress? Klinger wearing a dress would be kind of just nutty. That would be pretty funny, especially with how everybody freaks out about all kinds of things politically today. People would be like, no, why is this happening? And you'd have younger parents that had no idea what MASH was, just freaking out. I think it'd be funny just to tick off some people, but I'm that guy. Skew Raider, MASH and Lobo theme music. No, stop. Okay, maybe MASH, but I can't love both. All right, Liquid Below Zero. Figure of the year may be the Snail Shell Assassin. Dude, when I see your pictures of the Snail Shell figure, I'm just like, oh, I kind of need those. But then I realize I kind of, no. But that would be another line I would expand into. And another one that I fear being one up. Suddenly, yeah, okay, I need them all because they've all looked really good. Let's see. Not much Transformers. Do have a movie animated Prime, Megatron, and Rodimus. The movie animated. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. I mean, I love the movie stuff, and I was picking up some Studio Series 86 from Hasbro, but they felt like the tolerances weren't right and all that stuff, so I sold them. It was just one of those things, but I love Transformers, and I wish ThreeZero, the only thing that would be better with ThreeZero's Transformers is if they could transform, but still looked this good. Obviously, right now, with the way engineering is and cost, that's an impossibility. But hopefully in the future, we can start getting stuff that looks this good that can transform and that has good engineering. Robert, let's see here. Poor GoBots, no love. You know, I would probably, I can't say it because it would be bad. Somebody would think, oh man, there's demand for it. I'll make it. But I would be at least tempted to get Leader One, Turbo, Scooter, Cycle, Crasher, and Cop Tour because those were like the main ones in the old cartoon. I'd be tempted there. And I think did I have all of those when I was younger? Yeah, I had all six of those when I was younger. Turbo was my favorite. Let's see, Skew Raider. You got to get some commitment to the lines pre-orders for the 80s properties. I hope we commit and do that so we can get cool stuff like Last Starfire and Starfighter and Lost Dragon. What's that? Oh, okay, Last Dragon 2. Yeah, yeah. That'd be good stuff. It would. I just don't know. Like, for me personally, I probably wouldn't be into that stuff. Although Last Starfighter, you guys kind of talked me into checking more of that out after the last live stream. But yeah, I mean, it would be sweet. All right, now we're gonna stop this real quick. Not stop, but we're gonna stop the screen. That's right. I'm telling you, buttons I'm pushing again. Present, share screen, and this will come as no surprise to anybody, considering we've been talking about it quite a bit. But well, I need these in my life when it comes to focus. I need the comics when it comes to DC. I need the comics when it comes to Marvel. I want them all. Now, the rules here when it comes to stuff, when it comes to Mafex, is I don't want figures that just appeared in a panel or for a month or two or whatever. Things that didn't have a lasting look. I don't want those. I don't need Elseworlds type stuff, so I don't need Dark Knight collection sort of stuff. I just need the basic Earth, whatever, Earth Prime. What's the Earth? What's the main Earth in DC? I should know that, and I don't. I need that, and I need the 616 from the Mafex from Marvel. But yeah, Mafex is my line. If I couldn't collect any other line, I would collect Mafex because they're the fave. And that's my focus. Those are the 6 lines starting from the beginning of the stream to this here because it's just what it's about, man. I have to stay focused or I'm going to go nuts. Let's see. Robert, I still say Bumblebee is a Volkswagen, not a Camaro. Guess I'm old. Man, you and me both. And he's kind of, the way the character was done way back when, the Volkswagen was a perfect fit. The Camaro, like Bumblebee was never the warrior in the old stuff that he is in the newer stuff. So for the newer stuff, I think the Camaro fits. But for the older stuff, the VW Bug was, that was perfection. Skew Raider. What do we have here? Machine Robo GoBots are out there. I knew they have Psykill, and I just saw another one. Who was it? Was it Coptour? I can't remember. Let's see. Third party, etc. Let's see. Look them up. Cool stuff. Crusher. Let's see. Psykill and Leader One all have figures. Really? I didn't know that. Like I knew about Psykill, but I thought there was another one that was shown, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll trade you Leader One for Optimus Prime. What would you say? You know what? I'm going to hold on to Prime. I'm sure that Leader One looks great in photos. However, he's a jet. He can't look bad. Spaded One McDysentery, how do you do, fellow kids? How do you do, sir? Right now, we're having a blast. We're just talking focus. We're talking figures. That's just kind of what happens. Skew Radar, what have we? I don't have them yet, but they are on the long-term list. I know about them, so sharing. Yeah, like I said, I knew about Psykill, but I didn't know about the others. So it's one of those things where I'm sitting here saying I'm tempted, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd jump in. So that's where the internet can sometimes skew what these companies is going to sell and what's really not going to sell. So yeah, we shall see. Let's see. Sweet. Robert. Let's see. Should have waited. I have Comic Spider-Man, Metallic, and Classic. I want the original. I want the 075 Spidey. I need that Peter Parker head. And I feel like that one probably goes better than X-Men just because some of the X-Men are a little shiny. Let's see. Whew, I've kind of caught up, guys. Whoa. Wondering how that Mezco Classic Spider will look. I think he'll look great, but I don't think he'll be able to pose like the Mafex. And that's not a burn on Mezco. I've actually never handled a Mezco, but he's got the cloth goods and he's got kind of faux leather going on the cloth goods. So the cloth goods will probably make it so he can't bend as much. And the faux leather will, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, any of you who own Mezco in the chat, leather kind of cracks after a while. I've heard stories that the Batman 89 is already looking rough. So I'd be careful if it were me getting a figure with that. The Bishop, though, still tempted, even though, yeah, I need to know about those QC issues more. If you're on here, Matthew Matson, let me know. Let me know. Skew Raider. Cop Tour 2, like you said, photo. Okay. Oh, crap. You got them all, huh? So really, we're just missing Scooter and Turbo. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. I'm talking about focus, and you're trying to make me expand. Life is hard. Robert, what do we have here? Batman is like, put this on. Spider-Man like, what's with the costume? Leonard R on it. Oh God. So basically, Batman is like, here, Spidey, be my Robin. Yeah, that's just messed up. Although it'd be hilarious. I think these two teaming up would just be a hilarious thing. That's why I tried to show in the photo. Anyway, guys, I usually do an hour. It's been an hour 17, but you guys have kept me on my toes and I appreciate it. So thanks for stopping by. And remember, try and focus those collections. And if you think of ways that you have focused them that you maybe didn't talk about in the chat, leave them in the comments because we need to know things. And then before I go, I wanted to show one more thing just in case you guys didn't know about it. These are in the video description. I've got links to this stuff. So we're going to stop the screen. Share screen. See, I keep talking to myself. This is no good. I'm telling you, no good. Hold on. I got to. All right. Let's get out of this. Don't you guys love it when I do this stuff and it's like I'm showing things, but I'm not showing things because I'm just talking now and it's weird. Okay. These with a preview. Okay, now we're going to do this. That's there. Oh, great. My screen went black with all that stuff. So we're going to show window. Why isn't it? Now it's a tool. Now this thing, click share on the, okay. Present, share. Okay, apparently I hit the wrong button. Here we go. All right, guys. I feel like I need to share this just because it's something that I think can help people out. I'm not, I think people should check this out. So it's an action figure photography guide I did a while back. You can pick it up, like I said, links in the video description. It also signs you up for the newsletter, so you get to know all the craziness that's going on with Toypixx. And I think I've got a lot of craziness going on in the hopper. I'm kind of stoked about it. Then what I did earlier this week, let's see. Oh, can I get to that? Hold on. I think I can. Wait a sec. Oh, I can't. All right. earlier today, I actually posted, and you can kind of see the little icons there on the left. I don't want to pull out of the screen here in case you miss it, because I don't know what I'm doing. But those are kind of claw marks that you can use in your action figure photos. So you can take them, you can put them in Photoshop, put them against a wall. It's like Wolverine was slashing through them. They're on the Toypixx Patreon. You can just download them for free, no big thing. You can also turn them into stickers. Let's see. Okay, let's stop. We'll do this right, because I'm sitting here telling you about this stuff and you're not seeing it. All right, hold on here. We're going to do that. Okay. I love that the screen just keeps going black, don't you? Okay. And here we go. These are the Wolverine slash marks that you can download. It's like he was trying to slash into one PNG. So you can put them wherever, and the background's transparent. Put them on a wall, print them as stickers, do whatever you need to do. Make your photos even better than they are, if that'll help you, if you have a Wolverine, that is. So we've got that. Hope you do more of these, Robert. I appreciate it, man. Will. I'm trying to do them on Mondays, and I'm trying to do them on Thursdays. So we see if that keeps going. Very fun. Appreciate it. Let's see. Nope, sorry, missed it. Hope you do more photo tutorials, but in easy Forrest Gump terms for newbies. Man, I'm a terrible teacher, so I'm going to have to work on that, but I'll see what I can do. Do right there. That cover picture for the, let's see, for the guide is fire. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It's, I call that Velociraptor Dino. So I've got Cowboy and Dino. Makes me happy. Anyway, folks, that's what I've got for this one. So again, thanks a ton for stopping by. It's always appreciated. And until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya.